Hey everybody, it's me, CrazyFrankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my Week 10 4 key game picks. I'm not going to get into too much detail from last week because I need to make this video very quick. Going back from Week 9, Falcons still undefeated. What can I say? And yet, the Falcons last week, I was hearing Tony Gonzalez saying that the team is not getting any respect for being undefeated at this point. But you know, I'm going to weigh in on something a little bit here. I mean, I know a lot of Falcons fans are probably saying to themselves, how come they're not getting respect? You need to face the truth, Falcon fans. You guys really haven't beaten quality opponents, in all honesty. You're looking at the remainder of your schedule, you kind of really have an easy schedule, and the NFC South is really bad this year. So, I think the media has a right to criticize the Falcons and saying that, you know, why are we not getting any respect at all? Well, what can I say? You guys really haven't been, the Falcons really haven't been beating quality opponents. I mean, they beat the Cowboys last week in a very close game. I mean, they almost lost to the Raiders at one point a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, I mean, really, is there a bit of concerns for this Falcon team? Maybe. I would say maybe. Offensively and defensively, if you're not scoring a lot of points and you're letting the games become very close, even though they always say a win is a win, but still. Kind of a tough loss last week for the Giants over the Steelers. Well, I know a lot of effects are going on right now ever since the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. But I mean, this was a game that I kind of figured, you know, the Giants could let this one go. They still have a comfortable lead in the NFC East division due to the fact that the Eagles lost last week. And really, that entire division really isn't that good this year, except for the fact, you know, you got to give the Giants props. I mean, ever since the first loss at the beginning of the year, they rebounded nicely. Even though they lost to a desperate Steelers team. The Steelers right now, they pretty much saved their season last week because they're still in contention with the Ravens. And that meeting is coming up pretty soon, so the Steelers have to be ready for their second meeting of the year between them, and it's going to be a dandy. As far as the other teams, Packers, come on, they beat the Cardinals last week. Come on, the Cardinals weren't that good. They were injuring all that. But Packers, as expected. I expected them to win big. Chicago Bears, they won even bigger, too, in their game last week. It was over the Titans. Unbelievable. They racked up over 51 points. So, I gotta say, you know, this Bear team, I mean, you could say for a number of teams right now in the NFL who's number one right now. I mean, I wouldn't know what to say. But really right now, I mean, from last week, I mean, every team is different. They jump and jump. We don't even know who's number one right now. But I got to say, for the number one team last week in Week 9, you got to give it to the Bears. And I'll get to the Bears at one point because they have a big game coming up in Week 10. So that's pretty much it for week number 9. There really wasn't a lot going on as we're getting into the as we're getting now past the halfway point of the regular season. Now it's going to be crunch time for a lot of teams. As far as I know, it's tough to say who will get into the playoffs, who won't. It's going to be fun down the stretch. 7 weeks left to go, folks. 7 weeks left of the regular season. It's unbelievable. This year's almost over, and already we're near the end point of the regular season already. You know, before you know it, it'll be playoff time already. Wow, this year went by fast. Anyways, enough about that. Week 10. Week number 10, first key game is the Lions and the Vikings. Now the Lions, really right now, they're at a point right now. This is a make or break game for them. To me, this is a must-win game for the Lions to keep any hope of their playoff hopes alive. It's really tough to say right now what this Lion team will come to in week number 10. But also the Vikings also have to look out too. They're also in a stretch too where they also need a win too because they're starting to fall out of the standings as well in the NFC North. So this is a big NFC North game for them. So really, if you look at the Vikings, they got the offense. Their offense is a tad better than the Lions. Defensively, they're a little bit better than the Lions. And you got to go with the Vikings in this one. I think, to me, the Lions, they had their chance. Calvin Johnson's still a question right now in terms of how he's playing. Matthew Stafford, they're letting them get beat up. Their offensive line really isn't protecting him. That's why you got to go with the Vikings in this one. I see the Vikings beating them. Vikings win over the Lions. It'll be a close game, but I just don't think the Lions will have a comeback in this one. I think the Vikings running game is just too much. Second key game, a big one, Eagles and the Cowboys. Both these teams, well, actually, the Eagles are starting to fall. Well, pretty much they're starting to fall out of contention. The team right now is a mess. If this is a make or break game for them, I mean, obviously Andy Reid's job is on the line. If they lose to the Cowboys, Michael Vick pretty much will get replaced if he doesn't show any improvement in this game against the Cowboys. I mean, this is going to go same for the Cowboys as well. Going on the other side, Tony Romo hasn't been playing very well, and the Cowboys team right now, they have no identity in what to see who is the playmakers and who is willing to step up in that team. So really, this is a make or break game as well for both of these teams. But I think for some reason I'm going to go with the Eagles here. I think this is where the Eagles, at least for one more week, will show that they're at least somewhat in contention still, but really they're 2 games under 500, and I know it's a big question. I mean, a lot of the analysts saying this is the Cowboys to win this game, but I'm going to go with the Eagles here as a little bit of a mini upset here, but this is not my official upset pick here. I'm not going to say that. No, that will not be my upset pick. And I think I'll let you take a guess what you might think my upset pick will be in my fourth key game pick here. Anyways, Eagles, I think this will be a great win. I mean, the Eagles and Cowboys, they play each other in tight games. This will be a close game all the way, but I like the Eagles in this one. I think the Eagles will rebound at least for 1 week, because this is a game they must have in order to stay in contention. Same thing with the Cowboys too. They got to win as well, but I think the Eagles win this one here. Key game number 3, a big Sunday night game here between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. Bears dominated last week in their game, racking up 51 points over the Titans. So a lot of experts say, you know, why pick the Bears here? Texans have a good defense as well. Trust me on this one. This is going to be a tight game, a very, very tight game. It'll come down to who controls the clock and turnovers. Offensively, the Bears are, I mean, really, their offensive line, in my opinion, is still a question. Can they protect Jay Cutler? If they can't, the Texans defense are going to carve them up all game long. But really, for the talent on the Texans side, they're still, I mean, they lost their key linebacker for the year. Defensively, they still have some flaws. This is a tough one to pick here. But I'm going to go with the Bears here. Bears defense, I think, slightly is a little bit better than the Texans. I think they will barely have enough to beat them. It'll be a very, very, very tight game. So don't expect any high scoring here. I guarantee you this will probably be maybe if I were to predict the score, maybe 21-17 maybe. But like I said, for this one, I'm going to go with the Bears here. Bears over the Texans. My fourth key game pick is this is my official upset pick here. The Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Falcons, I know, are still undefeated, as I said in the beginning of this piece. But the Saints play them very well. The last three years, I mean, this has become quite a rivalry here. And this is the point where the Saints really desperately need wins here. And this is a statement game here. Even though the Saints mathematically are getting close to being out of playoff contention, but I think I'm going to see in my upset pick here, I'm going to go with the Saints here. The Saints know the Falcons very well. They know how the team is. Even though I know there's a lot of questions right now, the team really isn't that good this year. I know a lot of the impact happened from the bounty scandal, but they play them very well. They know this team very well, and it would not shock me at all if the New Orleans Saints upset the Atlanta Falcons here. So I think this is the game. This is the game here where I think the Atlanta Falcons will get their first loss here. It'll definitely be against the New Orleans Saints. And it would not be surprising at all. Because technically, if I look at it from the schedule, I mean, even with this win here, I mean, even if, say, the Falcons do win, it won't be enough for them to clinch the division because they would still need to win one more game, I think, in order for that to happen. But I think, to me, they're going to get their first loss of the year. It's going to come against the Saints. So that's it, everybody. That's your Week 10 4-key game picks. Make sure you check out my blog at CrazyFrankie56.blogspot.com for all of my Week 10 picks. For now, take care, and I will talk to you next week for week number 11. And have a great football Sunday, and take care, everybody.